Hi, fifth grade. How are you? How was your weekend? I hope you guys enjoyed it and had a good time of rest in your house. um, for this week and the coming weeks for distance learning, what we're going to try is these video lessons in addition to PowerPoints. Okay, so feel free to get your textbooks ready and look through the lessons. Look through the pages according to the title page over here that you see, and we're gonna work on some problems. Okay, all right. So get a notebook ready, or get a whiteboard ready, and a marker ready, pencil ready, piece of paper ready. Okay, whatever you gotta use to participate. Okay, all right. I'm gonna just now start the slideshow. Oh, let me see how to what. Okay, well, first I have to float that on top. Let me see, float on top. Okay, and then I definitely don't want that. Okay, I'm gonna try to get rid of, oh, there we go. PowerPoint slideshow, play from the start. Okay. Now, my face might cover up some parts of the PowerPoint, and if it does, I'm really sorry. Try to, I've also uploaded, the PowerPoint presentation itself on Moodle. So look for that if you want to, if it's really important to you for you to see what's behind my head, okay, or behind this box of me being in this video. All right. Okay. Well, first off, oh, so good to see you. You guys know this character, Pikachu. It's the only Pokemon character I know. So today we will learn about not just ratios, but equivalent ratios. Now, it says 5-minute warm up, but it might take a little bit longer than 5 minutes. Okay, so bear with me. Now, imagine that there are 10 pencils and 20 erasers. Like maybe you have literally 10 pencils and 20 erasers at your house. If you do, pause the video and bring them to your desk right now. Okay? If you don't, no worries, because I laid it out for you in the next slide, like here. Okay, and my box is actually covering these two erasers. Sorry about that. But if you want to count, there are 10 pencils and 20 erasers. Okay. So we're going to arrange these items in groups such that there is an equal number of each item per group. So you're going to pause the video and you're going to try this on your own. Okay, so you want to divide the pencils and erasers into equal groups. Okay, so you can like draw 10 pencils and draw 20 erasers on your whiteboard or piece of paper, and then circle the groups that have the same number of items in each group. Okay, in each group there has to be the same number. You cannot just have different numbers in each group. All right. So pause the video, try this on your own, think about what this could mean. Okay, I know probably some of you are like, I have no idea what to do, but just sit on it and try it. Okay, so pause it, and then after you've used all your brain cells as much as you could on this 5-minute warm-up, move on, press play again. Okay, and then I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so pause for now, work through it, persevere through it. Okay, and when you're ready, play the video. All right, see you soon. All right, welcome back. So one way that we can arrange these items into equal groups is, let me see, look at the blue circles, right? I know I have 3 blue circles, but each of the blue circles represents one group, right? So then there's 3 groups because there's 3 blue circles. How many items are in each circle? That's right. Okay. There are 10 items in each circle. So we arrange the items in groups of 10. Do you see that? So there's one group of pencils that have 10 in them, and then two groups of erasers that have 10 in them each, in each group. Is there another way we can arrange this? There is. Can you think of another way where we can draw circles and in each circle there's the same number of items in each circle? What about this? Look at the orange circles. How many items are in each circle? There are 5 items in each circle. There are 5 items in each group. Then how many groups of 5 of pencils are there? How many groups of 5 of erasers are there? There are 2 groups of pencils and 4 groups of erasers, where each group has 5 items. Here's another way to separate these items into equal number per group. How many are in each group? There are 2 items in each group. How many groups of pencils are there? How many groups of erasers are there? There are 5 groups of pencils with 2 pencils in each group. There are 10 groups of erasers with 2 pencils in each group. Do you see that? All right, so we're going to keep that information in the background, okay? Because we're going to bring it up soon. Just keep that in the back of your head, okay? So what we're learning now is that equivalent ratios show the same comparisons of numbers or quantities. And for us to really understand that, we're going to examine the warm-up again, okay? Now, remember, this is what we originally had. We had 10 pencils and 20 erasers. Then we divided 10 pencils and 20 erasers into groups where each group had the same number of items. Like this. Do you remember? What is the ratio of pencils to erasers? Look at the top picture. What's the ratio there? Remember, order matters, right? It is 10 to 20, not 20 to 10, because it says pencils to erasers. The first term is pencils. The second term is, I have to do it like this, right? First term is pencils. The second term is erasers. So there's 10 pencils and there's 20 erasers. Now let's look at the picture with the blue circles. What's the ratio there to pencils to erasers? Is it still 10 to 20? Can we write it in a different way? Yes, we can. We can write it in a different way because in each group there are the same number of items. So we can compare pencils to erasers with groups. Okay, so there's one group of 10 pencils each in each group, and there's 2 groups of erasers with 10 erasers in each group. So in here, 1 to 2 is also a ratio to this for this example. Let's look at the middle slide at the bottom, okay, with the orange circles. Now it's your turn. Do you think you can try and guess what the ratio could be there? Remember, we're thinking about the ratio of pencils to erasers. Did you see that there were 2 groups of pencils to 4 groups of erasers? Good job. Okay. Now the third example is behind my video box. Okay. I don't know if you remember, but we're gonna also write the ratio to that example. Okay. Did you get 5 groups of pencils to 10 groups of erasers? If so, good job. Pat yourself on the back. Good job. Okay. All right. Well, now what? I've got 10 to 20, 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 5 to 10. Okay. Why are they so different? Well, actually, these 4 ratios are not different. They are equivalent ratios. Even though the first term and the second term have different numbers in all of the ratios, they are equivalent because when we divide these items, each group has the same number of items, and so the ratio is equivalent. It kind of relates to what we learned about equivalent fractions. Do you remember? Just as a recap with equivalent fractions, okay, I'm going to write this. So remember, in ratios, we can write this like in fraction form with a fraction bar. So again, the first term, second term. The first term goes in the numerator position. The second term goes in the denominator position, right? Okay. Now look at this. An equivalent fraction is when we can multiply or divide the numerator and denominator by a common factor, okay? So let's see, is this equivalent? Okay, I'm going to look at 2 to 4. Is that equivalent? It is. I can multiply it by a common factor. I can multiply the numerator by 2 and the denominator by 2 to get 2/4. So 1 to 2 is equivalent to 2 to 4. Let's try another one. Okay, let's try, I'm going to do 1 to 2. Is it equivalent to 5 to 10? Can I multiply or divide by a common factor here to get 5 to 10? Yeah, I can multiply it by a 5 in the numerator, multiply it by a 5 in the denominator, or I can multiply it by 5 with the first term and multiply it by 5 with the second term, and I will get 5/10. So 1/2 and 5/10 are equivalent. Well, let's try another one, okay? Let's do 1/2 and 10/20. Okay. Are these equivalent? Do I multiply or divide by a common factor to get 10/20? I have to multiply because 1 and 10. 10 is bigger than 1, 20 is bigger than 2, so I have to multiply by a common factor. What is that common factor that I multiply by? If you said 10, you are correct. Good job. So 1/2 and 10/20 are equivalent ratios. Did I say 1/2? I mean 1 to 2 and 10 to 20 are equivalent ratios. Sorry. Okay. Just to practice, okay, let's kind of go backwards, okay? So let's look at 10/20. Okay. Is it equivalent to 5/10. It is, okay? But in this case, it's a ratio, so it's 10 to 20, 5 to 10. Are they equivalent? They are, okay? Because in this case, the numbers get smaller, right? So I need to divide by a common factor. What is a common factor I can divide the first term and second term by to get 5 to 10? If you said to divide by 2, you're correct. And so 10/20ths is equivalent to 5/10. Okay? And you can do that with the other numbers in that red box in that corner over there to see that they're equivalent ratios. Now, if those are all equivalent ratios, we have one that's called the simplest form. The ratio 1 to 2 is in simplest form because we cannot reduce that ratio. We cannot reduce the first term and second term by dividing by a common factor anymore. It is in the simplest form. Okay? All right. We're going to do guided practice numbers 1 through 6. And I want you to pause the video, take a look at the screen, and work it out on your whiteboard or paper, okay? All right, I'll see you in a couple of minutes, okay? Welcome back. Hey, how was it? Well, we're going to check number 1 and 2 for now. So in number 1, it says the ratio of the number of pencils to the number of push pins is, so remember, order matters. What comes first, pencils or push pins? Pencils come first, so we have to write 6 in the first term and 12 in the second term. Let's look at number 2. Okay, in the picture, they separated the items into groups, and each group has how many? Each group has 2 of the items. Notice how each group, all of the groups have the same number of items inside of them. All of them have 2 inside of them. So there's 3 groups of pencils and 6 groups of push pins. And then, like from our warm-up before, we find that the ratio of the number of pencils to push pins is 3 to 6. What about here? Okay, look at number 3. Now, how many are in each group? There are 6 in each group. There's 1 group of pencils, and then there's 2 groups of push pins with 6 in each group. So the ratio of numbers of pencils to the number of push pins is 1 to 2. So now in number 4, the equivalent ratios are 6 to 12, 3 to 6, and 1 to 2. Number 5 asks, which one is in the simplest form? It's 1 to 2. Why? Yes, 1 to 2 is in simplest form because there is no common factor that we can divide the first term and second term by to reduce the first term and second term to a lower number. Let's look at number 6. The ratio that shows the actual number of pencils and push pins is 6 to 12. Okay, that's the actual number. Okay, all right. That's all for now. Bye.